This week, we're talking about the 3 don't forget about me's for marketing automation. Hi everyone, I'm Samantha Cunningham Zabalinski, and this week I want to talk to you about your marketing automation strategy. So let's think about marketing automation not just as an email marketing sequence, but some of the other elements that are incorporated in it. So part of it is that inbound interaction with your audience. So how are you capturing their contact information, their lead? What kind of lead magnets are you using? That's a real popular buzzword, isn't it? So buzzword aside, what I'm talking about here is needing to think about ways that we can capture our prospective contact, visitor, customers' information to start putting them in our email marketing automation drip sequences. So often on our website, we develop content for that final conversion point, but we don't think about how do we engage them to start the conversation. And I want you to think about this on other websites and interactions that you have. How do you weave into a conversation gathering that customer's contact info? And so that's what we need to think about is 3 ways we can capture that contact info and start those conversations. And the reason I love doing this through marketing automation software is you can build a progressive profile. So what this means is every time somebody gives you a piece of information, it doesn't have to include their name because you're now identifying them with a user profile. So what I can do, for example, is I can ask Joe when he first comes to my website and engages with that one piece of content for his name and email address. Next time I can ask Joe maybe just for his last name and his phone number. And now I'm building this profile to gather information about this individual on my website who I'm hoping to convert to a customer. So what are the 3 pieces of information that you can use? Well, there are so many of them. And depending on your business or your vertical, make sure you think about, will it apply to what I am doing? But one thing that I love that we don't see enough of is that email it to myself or email it to a friend. This is a great opportunity to be higher in the funnel in our conversation and start tying customer interactions to their actual profile. So often we focus when we're thinking about that marketing funnel, that lower level where it's just that lead where they're closest to the point of sale. But the whole point of marketing automation is you're nurturing a customer to come through that funnel and you're coaching them through it. It is also a great tool because now you're able to identify where each of your potential contacts, customers, where your leads are in the entire process. So if your sales team is reaching out, based on this piece of content, you're going to fire a trigger to reach out to them. So that first one that I'm talking about here is the email it to myself or email it to a friend piece of information. This is going to be great because you can connect that profile, and if you do the email to a friend, you're also adding one more to your system. So the second one is kind of a repropositioning of how we think about our website and our inventory. So depending on what type of business you are, this is going to lend itself better to some industries compared to others. But for example, if you are a product-based business, let's say you're a local beauty company and you're really trying to evolutionize the way the beauty industry functions, and you're talking about all organic products, natural and great for you. So you're going to have to introduce your product, your information, your unique selling proposition to your audience before they go over to that product page. You can't just focus on, hey, go look at my inventory. Sure, all of your inventory may have this information, but how about when they go over and take a look at your products and your inventory, you give and use other pages to help contact and grab their contact information. Here's a few examples of what I mean specifically. So if we're focusing specifically on that inventory page and you're that beauty product company, what about ingredients? So many people are concerned about what kind of ingredients you use. Do they have an allergy to it? So on your inventory page, how about a downloadable guide that talks about all of the ingredients and how you source your ingredients? Now you're getting that download. They can either have it emailed to them through the automation or downloaded right there in real time, but you're asking for a piece of their information to connect their behavior to their profile, their content, their email address, their phone number, their whatever it may be that's important to you. Now, a second example there as well could be a directions guide or a how to use it guide. So for example, let's say you're a product, if you're a camera company, if you're a tech company, is this something new to market that consumers aren't as familiar with? If it is, part of what's going to be important to them is how does it fit into my lifestyle? How do I use it? So something with an explanation guide or a landing page you drive them over to from your inventory page. So it doesn't always have to be a guide or download. Send them over to a page, for example, that's going to talk all about how to use the product, how to maybe set it up if it requires assembly. Because if you're anybody who shopped at IKEA, those directions are the hardest part after the purchase. So make sure you're a little bit more clear than them. So the third one, instead of focusing on a lead magnet, let's focus on a sales magnet. Now, I don't know if that's a term, but let's make it one for the instance of this hard facts episode, because I want to sell this stuff. I'm not just doing it to contact all of these customers. I want to make sure they're moving and overcoming any obstacles in the purchase process. So that's what I want you to think about. What hurdle or obstacle do your customers face in either that justification or that purchase stage? Now, stop. Take a minute and write down what that is. I really want you to think about that. Now, if you have it, how can you create content that helps overcome or move them from that objection to that purchase? Because if you can coach them through that without them ever realizing you're coaching them through that process, you have that sale wrapped up. So for example, is it that you create a sequence that sends them nurture emails to overcome all of those FAQs? Is it you send them a testimonial email that's going to move them through to that social proof point? And then in that, make sure you're sending content back to the website. So it's so common that we want to make sure that everything is there in that email, easily accessible, but what we miss is how do they make that purchase for your business? Now, if it's offline, then having all of that content and information in your email is perfect because it's all right there. But if that's an e-commerce purchase, you need to make sure you're bringing them back to the website. So you want to either entice them or provide them additional information that they can only find there. Once they get back to your website, make sure that that page has an easy either checkout option or link over to your product or inventory. And that's the 3 don't forget about me's of marketing automation. If you've got a topic, a question, or challenge that you need help working out, comment below or email me back, and let's use that as a topic for an upcoming Hard Facts.